What do you get from a drunken sailor? What do you get with a drunken sailor? That's why we threw the pirate flag out there. I wanted to confuse as many people as humanly possible. The hair's on point. I'm going to voice my opinion with volume because smooth, that's what I am. Rock, because I'm the man. This is Tim, it's New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Also on the Believe Network. Fun, having that fun time with the FanDuel. Want to talk about Jaxson Dart, your number 2 QB. Yikes. Also want to talk about the Washington Commanders and a little bit of the Redskins. Well, I'm calling them the Redskins. Also, we have some Andrew Thomas news. He's seen at practice, limited practice. He's out there stretching a rubber band. And Giant fans go crazy. Not stretching it with his feet, just stretching a rubber band. Doing that little exercise, doing that thing he does, getting ready for this big game on Sunday. Jay Ferrer says someone needs to Photoshop Tim's face on the picture of Jaxson Dart. Why? Because I got better hair. At 50 plus, I got better hair than Jaxson Dart. And I don't have the puka shells. Dan the man said, haven't seen Tim in almost a week. I was worried, dropped him right before the start of the season too. Whole hype for this stream. You know what? I just wasn't in the mood to stream. I wasn't in the mood to do any videos. Wasn't in the mood to do shit. Kids went back to school. So, you figured it would have been a good time to do some streaming and stuff. I was like, I don't really feel like it. Because you know what? There really isn't going to be any news till today, Thursday and Friday, going into Saturday. And of course, we'll have the big stream on Sunday. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Deb says, what does Deb say? Deb says, hi. We got a blink camera notification in my kitchen here. I got the cameras rolling because the kids are outside and the wife is not home. So I got the cameras outside going on so I can see the kids doing what they need to. T-Brad says, let's go. Danny says, almost get excited to hate to watch TJ as I am to watch the Giants this season. You got to have goals in life. One of those goals is having to stick with and watch the bullshit known as Daniel Jones. And you got to feel bad for Indianapolis fans because we had 5+ years of this idiot. And I really shouldn't. And like I said, Daniel Jones is the only white guy to get away with robbery. And he didn't even use a gun. Took $98 million from the New York Football Giants without a gun. And one playoff win in almost 6 years. But hey, you have Giant fans out there on Twitter going, he's going to be the next big thing. Ooh, he's going to resurrect his career in Indianapolis. We need to worry about our own career. MK5 says if it plays, we're winning. If AT plays, we're winning, no doubt. I can't tell you that. Everyone wants to dismiss. It's amazing that Malik Nabers has not really been on the field. We haven't seen him since August. And he's going to play. Well, hopefully he's going to play on Sunday. And I guarantee he's going to play. They're saying it's a minor back injury now. It's a minor thing. So we haven't really seen him in a while. And he hasn't played in a while. He hasn't practiced in a while. He hasn't been on the practice field for a while. But he's going to be all right. Giant fans are going to say he's going to put 1,000 yards against the Commanders. And they take a look at Terry McLaurin, who just signed the big deal, just came back into camp, who hasn't been playing, who hasn't been at camp, who hasn't been doing anything. Of course, Terry McLaurin is going to suck because he hasn't played in months. But Malik Nabers, who hasn't played in a month, hasn't done anything in a month, is going to be good. But Terry McLaurin's going to suck. Okay. Jabari Bruce, what's up, Mr. Bruce? All jokes aside, please tell me Nabers is going to have a good season. That's on my fantasy team. You have to just sit there and look at Malik Nabers. And you have to fathom the fact that if he has a professional quarterback that's going to put the ball in a position where he can catch it and have the ability to accelerate or the ability to have some yak, yeah, he's going to have a much better season than he did last year. Now, you also have to be concerned that Darius Slayton is your number 2, Wan'Dale Robinson sitting there in your slot, and then you got 4 yards in a cloud of dust behind him. The Giants' offense, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to be predicated on Russell Wilson, Malik Nabers, and Tyrone Tracy. And 2 of those guys, you have question marks in my mind because Russell Wilson's going to be 37 years old in November. Malik Nabers is dealing with a toe, shoulder, and back injury. So we have to wait and see what's going to happen. But if everything goes to fruition, yeah, he should have a good time. Tim, please explain the unofficial as opposed to the official depth chart. Why bother with the unofficial depth charts? Because the unofficial depth chart normally is your official depth chart. You can't make your depth chart official, I think, until Friday. So sometimes teams put out like a preview of the depth chart, and whatever's going to the league office also, you're not going to see it till like Friday. So this is kind of the depth chart before the depth chart. It's like the rough draft of your depth chart, if you want to put it in some type of vernacular that way. Barkley voted the best player in the NFL by his peers. He's the face of the NFL right now. Well, let's see. He got a boatload of money, left the Giants, ran for the most yards in a single season in NFL history, including the playoffs, won a Super Bowl, was the driving force to get the Eagles to the Super Bowl. And yeah, and rushed for over 2,000 yards. Yeah, I could see that. It's Jaxson Dart, the next big thing. What's up, Big Mark? Mark Stewart. Patrick, I can't. You know what? Here's the thing, Patrick. These first 6 games of the season are probably the most important 6 games the Giants have played in the last 5 years. These first 6 games, 3 against divisional rivals, could make or break the totality of this season. And you would think that the Giants, in their infinite wisdom, would put all resources on display and ready for action to give them the best opportunity to win some of these games. You go 1-5, you're probably 1 win or maybe no wins in the division. You're going to put yourself in a hole. I don't care how bad the Cowboys might be. The Cowboys still have a potent offense, just not a defense. But you could literally lose your entire season in these first 6 games. You could have and you'll have 11 weeks left in the season to experiment all you want with Jaxson Dart. So you would think the Giants, in their infinite wisdom, because they really haven't had that infinite wisdom since 2011, when in 13 years we have 2 playoff appearances and 1 playoff win. So you kind of look at the Giants and say, you know what? You would think you would have all hands on deck, get everything ready quickly, and get everything at your fingertips just in case you need to try to squeak out a 3-3 start. And I've said this before. I'm going to keep telling this over and over again. 9 wins to me takes this division. You go 3-3, you go 6-5 in your last 11. I'm going to keep preaching this to everyone. So you need to put the best 53 men on your roster on that field on Sundays or Thursdays or Mondays or Fridays or Saturdays, whatever days now the NFL plays. Pretty much 7 days a week. So you have to put all these. You have to put the best 53 on the roster on the field. This roster on the field. Now, you're telling me, as a Giant fan, as a season ticket holder, as an infinite moron, that Jaxson Dart gives you a better opportunity to win games these first 6 weeks if Russell Wilson goes down over Jameis Winston. That's what that's what the Giants are telling me right now. That Jameis Winston is going to be their their emergency third string quarterback. Now you have to remember the rules have changed a little bit in the NFL in reference. You're not going to have to carry 3 quarterbacks on the 53. But what you need to do is, because you have that emergency third string quarterback. But the emergency third string quarterback can only play if the first 2 quarterbacks are hurt. So let's say Russell Wilson gets hurt, Jaxson Dart comes in, and all of a sudden Jaxson Dart is stinking up the fucking joint. You can't just turn around at that point in time and go to Jameis Winston. No. You have to, the quarterback will have to be hurt. So what you're telling me is, in these first 6 weeks, with no NFL experience, with no first team reps, without really seeing a true NFL defense, that he has done enough Jaxson Dart to warrant our commander-in-chief to turn around and say he gives us the best opportunity to win.
Now, I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, because he doesn't. These pundits and people will say, "Well, Tim, you are again, you are again standing alone while all the pundits and the rest of the world are saying this."
There isn't anything for you here. I have men at my back, and you stand alone and defy me. I'm not alone.
I'm never alone because there's always me, myself, and I. And I was alone for 5 years with Daniel Jones. I stuck out the slings and the arrows. And I stood there and I watched and I listened to pundits and people tell me I was wrong for 5 years, for 1,958 days a week. The wife's watching me at work. I would like to say one thing, though, darling. The hair is perfect. And I don't know what we're having for dinner. So I'm just going to throw that out there real quick. But you are telling me I'm wrong again. And I keep telling people the same things over and over again. In the last 4 years, we've hardly been wrong about anything in reference to the New York Giants. I'm not saying that Jaxson Dart is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. I'm not saying Jaxson Dart is not going to have a prolific career. I'm not saying that Jaxson Dart's not going to win 5 fucking Super Bowls. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is in these first 6 weeks, he does not give you a better opportunity to win games over Jameis Winston. You saw the difference in that last preseason game against the Patriots, and yes, it was worth it was against the garbage squad. Yes. But you saw the difference in the vertical offense between Jaxson Dart and Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston stood above everyone else on that field when he was playing at that point in time. And of course, if Bo Collins doesn't run the wrong route, that's probably a touchdown as well. But you could see the difference in his vertical offense over Jaxson Dart. You are going to have to simplify some of the things that you do if something happens to Russell Wilson. I've talked to James Williams about this today. I'm going to get to everyone in the chat. I talked to James Williams today about this. Spent an hour and 40 minutes with James Williams on the phone today while I was cleaning the bathroom, which was interesting. And we talked about the fact that, and I mentioned to him, it's your first home game. Now, I'm not even going to go your first home. It's your first road game. You're in Washington. First play of the series, Russell Wilson, hands off, 2-yard loss, Tyrone Tracy. The Giant fans are now going to start booing and want to call for Jaxson Dart. This is what's going to happen. This is what you fucking created. You are not looking at the totality of your season of your other 52 men per Dable. You are rewarding Jaxson Dart for playing against scrubs. And you could say whatever you want about Jameis Winston. I am not a fan of Jameis Winston. I am not a fan of Russell Wilson. I think both of them are what they are. They're stopgap quarterbacks, which I'm fine with. But you are putting the other 52 men on your squad at risk of going 1-5, 0-6. Because you're one injury away from seeing a rookie who we have yet to see read the totality of the field. And you're going to put him in against, outside of Dallas, some of the best team. Now, the Chargers are a good team. I don't know why everyone keeps overlooking the Chargers. And you are going to put him in against some of the best teams in the league. You want to put him up against Steve Spagnuolo? You want to put him up against Philly? Washington has an improved secondary as well. And everyone, I love it. Everyone, when I say the Giants have some old players on the team, they're like, well, I love the one idiot that told me, well, they have the oldest team in the league. Average age on the Commanders is 27.6. The next 9 teams behind them, the average age is 26.7. So it's not even a year. I love the fact that Dan thought I got fired. Doing my damnedest. It just doesn't make any sense. James Williams, hit the like button, guys. Please hit the like button. Mr. Taz says, on the bright side, you're going to be pretty good odds of not finishing last with Dallas losing Mr. Parsons. Dallas still has a good offense. For the stupid, we talked about the Parsons trade, and it was stupid. You got 2 late first-round picks because you figure you're going to be picking 27th to 32nd with the Green Bay Packers for the next 2 years. You got a guy in Clark whose best years are behind him, but he's still a good defensive player, but his best years are behind him. But what Dallas didn't do for the first time in the Jerry Jones era was wreck their entire salary cap for the next 4 years to keep one guy. You know, it would have been better in some ways because he's also got a back injury right now. Parsons, that is if the loving Cowboys kept Parsons, signed him that big ass contract, and they wrecked their salary cap on a non-quarterback related position. Seeing Dart at 2 as a quarterback thinks that he seeing Dart at 2, do you think the leash is short? Oh, I think the leash is beyond short. Why didn't he do nothing? Looking. I don't want to contact people. No, I don't want to contact people to be a guest on the show. Leave me alone. I'm upset. I've been waiting for Headless Horseman Pumpkin Spice coffee from Black Rifle for a year. Shows up at the house, crack open the coffee, get the coffee pot rolling, make the coffee, drink it. It's not pumpkin spice. It's regular coffee. But I talked to Black Rifle today. I sent them an email. They called. Evidently, there was a quality control issue, and they're sending new coffee. But I'm just a little upset. I have to drink IHOP. Big Mark. What's up, Big Mark? Mr. Taz also says, once again, thank you for Saquon. The number one player and the top 100 offensive player of the year, Madden cover, rushing record, contract extension. Thank you, Joe Shane. Well, la-ti-da. You're welcome, Mr. Taz. You're welcome. Big Tim says, Prince, the all-seeing, the all-knowing king of the New York Giants. Straight talk. It's nice to be part of your live stream. It's going to be interesting. Keep killing it. Well, Prince, we haven't seen you in a while, and I appreciate that. You forgot golden-haired God. These are the things you need to remember. Blue piercing eyes. Should be on network. And a Super Bowl. Yeah, you forgot about the Super Bowl. Tim, is 26 still giving Giants ownership? Oh, Jersey Beaner, I mean, listen. If you're John Mara, he came out and said, I'm going to be sick, if this happens. And it happened. I think he's more than sick. I think he's just vomiting every night. Seriously. Seriously. You let the best player in the league go because of Daniel Jones. I gotta say this. I know I'm all over the place today. I can't remember what beat writer said it.
Stupid giant Twitter post.
This beat writer came out and basically said, I finally see the plan and the fruition of Joe Shane and Brian Dable. The big picture has finally come clear. I don't see it. I'm still looking at the fact that his first 2 draft classes in 2 years could be totally off this roster. I'm not sure what this year's draft class is going to be, and I'm not sure last year's is going to be yet. I don't see it yet. I don't see the dream. We still have to cut down some salaries to get under the cap. We still don't have a wide receiver. We don't have a linebacker. Our cornerback situation is a mess. We're one wide receiver away from basically falling apart. You still have 3 defensive ends who can't stop the run. Carl Banks said it best. You need to earn the right to rush the passer, but we have a killer pass rush and a wide receiver. And everyone's anointing Jaxson Dart. I haven't seen, and I keep telling people, I love that people are so omnipotent. I love it. Because I can't tell if he's going to be good yet. I could tell Daniel Jones wasn't going to be good after a full first season, but I can't tell you what this kid's going to be. I love it. Someone from that I respect and is actually a very good member of the show and the community. put a post on one of the comments on YouTube and said, "Are you going to make an apology?" And he wasn't being facetious. It was actually an honest question. He says, "Are you going to make an apology video if Jaxson Dart balls out?" I said to him, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything that would preclude me from making this video because of the fact that I never said anything about Jaxson Dart that wasn't right, that wasn't wrong. All I keep saying over and over again is I haven't seen him play against anyone. I've seen him play the NFL equivalent to Furman. That's all I've seen. Mr. Massey with the big old super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Why not learn from the Packers making Jay Love sit at least a season? What incentives for Dable rushing Jackson as the number 2 quarterback, Tim? I should give you the $14 back, but it goes to the children. But because I don't know. Jordan Love sat for a couple seasons. There is no practical sense to have him on that roster as your second string quarterback until you know what you have. I'm not saying you're waving the white flag during week 1. I'm not saying you're waving the white flag during week 1. I'm not saying that. But I am saying this. You are telling the rest of the people that a veteran quarterback, first overall pick, and Jameis Winston, who's been in the league for 9-10 years, Jaxson Dart is better than him. If that's the case, then trade Jameis. Get rid of him. But you won't. You want to know why? Because deep down, the Giants know somewhere in the Giant Kingdom, there is someone sitting there saying, we can't do this.
I don't know.
Say that's what they're saying. I don't know. We can't do this. We have to hold on to Jameis. We do. It's just, and I just saw someone say it's a ridiculous strategy. What's up, Ryan from Ryan's Big Blue Podcast? Make sure everyone goes and follows Ryan. Jay Ferris says, just start Dart. This whole thing is a mess because of Russell Wilson's site. Jay, you just knocked it out of the fucking park. I wish I had a home run sound effect. You literally just knocked it out of the park. Russell Wilson has been trying to come to New York for 4 years. You had the fiasco in Denver where we were going to trade. We weren't going to trade. We did this. We had his 2 years in Denver. Then last year, he comes to us hat in hand, says, I will take a minimum salary, $1.5 million, to be your starting quarterback. The New York Giants said,
Russ, slow down. $1.5 million for you to be our starting quarterback? No. We have Daniel Jones.
This is the same regime that thought Daniel Jones was going to be good. Am I the only one that remembers these things? Now we're putting the quarterback whisper, whose quarterback whisper project was White Vic and Josh Allen, but has done nothing else in his NFL career in reference to building an offense, got fired at every stop, couldn't make Daniel Jones a starter, but we're going to rely on his thought process to bring in Jaxson Dart. To Jay's point, just make him the starter. You want to wave the white flag? Go right ahead. Make him the starter. Tell the season ticket holders, fuck you. Here you go. Here's Jaxson Dart for 17 weeks. Dan, it is a ridiculous strategy. Yes. To Protect says he's not ready, and I hope we don't force it. Dart isn't ready. He needs a lot of work. Here's the problem to Protects. You're playing against the Commanders. 36 years old, soon to be 37 in a row. Russell Wilson goes back. He looks for the pass. He gets sacked, twisted ankle. Here comes Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart stinks it up. You can't go to your emergency third string quarterback because the NFL rules dictate your second string quarterback then has to be hurt. This is why this makes zero sense. And I'm hoping it's wrong. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Hey, Tim, excited for the season, but still don't feel like we have enough offense except the namers. What do you think, Tim? Your tight end position is a mess. Tight end position is a freaking mess. We haven't seen Theo Johnson in weeks since Buffalo. Your wide receivers outside of Malik Nabers, your best player is Darius Slayton. Gabe Davis just signed with the Bills and is going to be on the practice squad till he finishes healing from the meniscus surgery from last year. Your offensive line, you have an undersized center. You don't know how your guards are going to play, and you're going to either have Bo or Hudson at the left tackle probably. And you have to hope that Tyrone Tracy continues his renaissance, and you have to hope that what we saw in the limited action with Cam Scatterboo, where I still have that play burned in my head in that red zone play where he took the snap, tried to go off tackle, and got buried, and he did not move the pile. And like I said, he's coming back off a hamstring. It was only his first carry, so you got to give him some time. But I don't know. I'm not going to lie. Seeing Dart sitting at number 2 kind of pissed me off. Let the kid learn. I understand you're saying hit the like button. Who said that? I understand what you're saying, that you want him to learn, that you want him to get reps, that you want him to, you want to reward him for being this player against second, third teamers and Home Depoters. Or you know what? Someone got offended by that the other day. So we'll call them Allstate insurance salesman. I don't get it. Seriously, not many have arm talent like Crab Legs. Oh no, Crab Legs has got an arm and a half. James Williamson is in the chat. RFFD, Daniel Jones was perfect in the first preseason. Look how well that worked out. DJ needs easily half the season, if not the whole season, to learn on Eli Manning. Yeah, it was 5 for 5 for 67 yards and a touchdown during that first Jet game. And we've said it before. Giant fans erupted when Eli Manning had the first 2 series in that Jet game. Then he got not benched, but he just got brought in for Daniel Jones just came in. And you would thought the Messiah had entered the building. I showed videos of it. I was there. The touchdown in the corner of the end zone against the Jets. You would think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And we all know the bread was moldy. Jay Ferris also says every quarterback is different. Lots start game 1 and turn out fine. Lots don't and suck too. My problem here, and that's an excellent point, Jay, but I'm going to tell you my problem is right now. I'm going to tell you my problem with this. Coming out of college, all the scouts said the same thing the first week, and then everything just started changing. Coming out of college, they all said Lane Kiffin, 1 read quarterback, half the field. First option is to throw a spot. Second option is to run. You're not allowed to audible. One of the big things that everyone said about him, we do not know if he can read an entire NFL field or an NFL defense. We still don't know this. We have yet to see him go up against any type of complex defense. It's going to be totally different. You're going to see stunts. You're going to see so many different things that you have never seen before. And it's not Jaxson Dart's fault. But the project and the idea of the 2025 season is to win games, not to build a quarterback that might be your quarterback of the future. Joe Shane is so freaking maddening. 2 years ago, you had one of the best quarterback classes allegedly since 2004, 1983. We don't take a quarterback. One of the worst quarterback classes this year outside of the Kenny Pickett draft, we take a quarterback in the 25th pick. Next year, there is a plethora of guys, not just named Arch, that are going to be coming out. This kid Sellers, I keep watching him because of Big Greg in Sweden. Sellers looks good. There's a lot of guys this first week that looked really good. There could be a plethora of quarterbacks coming out in 2026, but I'm not even going to go there. Danny Dunn said DJ was bad. He was always bad. Going to be bad no matter how much we said his rookie season. Dan the Man says, at this point, I'm almost as mad at the Eli benching than the 2 years prior. I'm still mad at it. Danny Dunn says in 6 years of bad football, you was the one constant. Just got here. What did I miss? You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Black Rifle sent me the wrong coffee. The wife's watching me at work. I had to turn the cameras on because my son's over at his friend's house. And I have no idea what we're having for dinner. Oh, and the Giants are smoking crack because of the fact that they're putting Jaxson Dart as the number 2 quarterback.
Yeah. Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
And I agree with that. No LSU quarterbacks. Your hair is closer to Phil Simms than gold. No, Phil Simms has white hair. Phil Simms has the Prince Valiant look. This is like, come on. Look at that shit. Look at that shit, man. All natural. Let's see here. Kyle says, if you had to nail down one conviction for the Giants, says, what would that be? If I had one conviction, if I had, what I'm going to say about the Giants in 2025? And you know what? I can't remember who said it. Just be better. Be better than last year. And someone said it on one of the streams. Just be better. Your schedule's not any better. Show something. Show life. I keep worrying about Abdul Carter. And I've said this before. If I'm a suavemente offensive coordinator and I see Abdul Carter in the game and it's a non-pass rushing down, I'm running right at him. I'm taking Derrick Henry, and I know we don't play him, but I'm taking Derrick Henry, and I said, look for 51. Stay out of the middle of the line. Run off tackle. Said this before. I think you're going to see Abdul Carter on a rotational basis, not many first and second downs. But I'm running right at. If I'm an offensive coordinator, I am running right at him. Balls to the wall, right at him. Why is Singletary still on the team? Okay. I'm going to do, because it's we RFFD. We always love this. It's math with Tim. He's got a $6 million salary. His agent and Joe Shane's infinite wisdom made the contract guaranteed. So if we cut him, there's a $6 million dead cap number. And we can't take. His agent was, Devin Singletary's agent was brilliant. He's like, well, yeah, we'll do it, but just guarantee the money. It's only $6 million. Giants are always in salary cap issues. What's up, Trenton? There's been rumors that they put him in for some packages. That is the worst thing you could literally do. You want to break up the continuity of your two-time Super Bowl participant, one-time Super Bowl winner, MVP quarterback, like for Jaxson Dart, for packages. When I have an aneurysm, just someone let me know, because this team is giving me one right now. Eagles putting up 40 tomorrow. Hope they do. Jay Ferris says, do you got to deal with Black Rifle? I was curious about the coffee. It's about 30% more than Lava. That's crazy, or is it? First of all, it's not crazy. Second of all, go to the Black Rifle website. Don't buy it in the store. Don't buy it on Amazon. Go to the Black Rifle website. Actually, you can buy it on Amazon too. It's actually pretty cheap. It's like $14 a bag. Yeah. Jay, get the coffee. Get the Gunship is good. Kodiak Attack is good. Like I said, the it's called Pumpkin Spice. It used to be called Headless Horseman. Phenomenal. Just try it. And Skyline, what's up? Why does everyone assume that every quarterback has the same development arc? That's a great question. Mr. Taz says, you keep saying he plays against NFL Furman, but don't forget the mighty Furman is the biggest liberal arts college of the South. You're actually, Mr. Taz, I did forget that. RF says, I'm wondering if being number 2, if they're going to blow out and let Dart get some snaps. Yeah, that would be and this is the thing that concerns me, and they're never going to say it. They're never going to say it whatsoever. But are the Giants waving the red flag, the white flag? Are they looking at the 2025 season, seeing the schedule, seeing the roster, seeing the talent, and go, let's put Jaxson Dart in there a couple times. What, we're already going to lose this season. It almost has that feel. And as a season ticket holder, you don't want to feel that way. You want to feel like that your team is working to the inevitable end, which is a Super Bowl, not the maturation of Jaxson Dart, and we don't even know exactly what he is yet. Jordan Love was a 1-year starter at NC State, I believe. Jameis is a cheap contract. If anyone gets traded, it's Wilson. No, you're not going to trade Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's got guaranteed money on his contract. Jameis Winston has a 2-year deal with basically no money. So if anyone that you would allow or be able to move, it would be, you got to remember, you gave this guy $10.5 million, $8 million of it was a signing bonus and $2 million in salary and a shitload of incentives, plus a $500,000 workout. You total guaranteed his contract 10.5, not including the incentives. You cannot trade Russell Wilson. Jameis Winston is on a 2-year deal, which is like a 2-year, $6 million deal. Mr. Taz, how pumped are you for tomorrow? Mr. Taz, so nice. Had to say it twice. Hey, Mr. Taz, how pumped up are you for you tomorrow? Russell Wilson will be gone next year. Jameis has a team-friendly 2-year deal. He's next year's insurance. Yeah. You're right. Mr. Saul says a quarterback whisperer would have a track record. Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Shanny, and Kevin O'Connell. You're right. That's what a quarterback whisperer is. He's a quarterback whisperer. He whispers. He talks to you like the wind. She's like the wind blowing through the trees because nobody puts baby in a corner. Unofficial depth chart Saturday will determine who is number 2. Listen, the unofficial depth chart is the unofficial depth chart, but they're not going to put him at number 2 in the unofficial depth chart and then make him 3 on Saturday's depth chart. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. Tim, I foresee us having a bad season. Dable gets fired. If so, we got problems with Dart because we need to get a coach that wants him that doesn't look good. Skyline, I'm going to give you a story about a lovely lady. She was bringing up 3 pretty lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold like their mother. The youngest one was in curls. But I'm going to give you a little story. It's a tragedy. Is it a Shakespearean or a Greek tragedy? Maybe. There was this football team that had a quarterback. He was very rudimentary, limited success. This team fired their head coach and their general manager. The ownership basically went out there and said, we want to find 2 guys in our general manager and our head coach that can work with this kid, mold him. Now, this kid's already been in the league for 3 years because you kind of know what he is. But we got to find someone that can work with him and mold him and make him into an NFL quarterback. Forget the other 53 people on the roster. We're going to develop this kid hell or high water, and we're going to bring in the right people to do it, which is always a recipe for failure. Flash forward 5 years. 6 years, we could be doing the same thing again. Ooh. Colin says, I thought the rule was 3rd-string quarterbacks can only be put in unless the first. Yeah, that is the rule. Yeah, that is exactly the rule. Colin, we talked about that. That 3rd-string quarterbacks, the emergency 3rd-string quarterback after that playoff fiasco with the 49ers, they changed the rule that you can dress 3. The 3rd doesn't count against the roster, but it can only come in if the first 2 are injured. Yes, you are 100% right. Dable didn't develop Josh Allen. He got even better after Dable left. Dable did nothing for Jones and humiliated the kid on national television. Just because you throw an iPad at him. Listen, I want to throw a sofa at Daniel Jones. That's just an iPad. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Josh Allen got better every year after Dable left and won an MVP. Finally won an MVP. It's called catching him in stride. Who we catching in stride. Jaxson Dart isn't better than Jameis Winston, but a QB2 you can package for him for experience here and there. But here's the problem, Johnny. Damn bugs whacked us good, Johnny. Johnny Rico, one of the best movie characters ever in Starship Troopers. One of the best movies ever. But here's the problem. Russell Wilson goes down, you're going to then scale back your offense to play Jaxson Dart. You're no longer, you want to be, and we haven't seen that. We have not seen the Giants have a dynamic offense since Jason Garrett. How many people are still missing Jason? I'm still missing Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett had some of the, you can say what you want about the man. His game plan with no quarterback in Seattle was brilliant. His game plan against Philadelphia when Evan Ingram dropped the ball was brilliant. And he had no talent in Daniel Jones as a quarterback. Stephon Diggs hasn't been on the team in a couple of years. I just want to win and win the division. Is that so hard? Yes. Yes, evidently it is. Evidently, we can't figure out after 2011 how to build a team. We went out and bought one for a season, and then we caught luck in a bottle in a 7-2 start, then a 2-5-1 finish, and we've been shit since. I'm eating W's. No LSU quarterbacks. Oh, I agree with that 1,000%. Arch Manning hasn't done much at Texas. For NFL fans, he's watching some college games. The kid right now isn't good. It's not that he isn't good. He went up against the best defense in college. But I agree. I kept telling people, everyone's getting all crazy after 2 games. And everyone needs to remember, I always go back to this. Sometimes guys that you think are going to be these phenomenal players, go back, and a lot of people don't remember this, but go back to Chris Sims in Texas. Chris Sims was the number 1 quarterback coming out of college, chose Texas, couldn't beat out at Major Applewhite. Yeah. Go look up that name. Couldn't beat out Major Applewhite. And then when he finally did get a chance to play, he played well, but it was only drafted in the 2nd round. Skyline Chance says, chance we give Dart to Josh Allen treatment and draft a quarterback in the 1st round next year. The 2026 quarterbacks class, Jaxson Dart better be phenomenal. You can hate the kid you can hate Garrett out of LSU. You can hate LSU quarterbacks. I agree. But you got some guys. You got that kid out of Clemson as well. Sellers, man. Sellers has this talent and this look about him that, and you hear the story about how he turned down $10 million in the NIL deal to stay at South Carolina. To me, he's like a bigger, stronger, faster Jalen Hurts. People forget about old Drew over in Penn State. And you got that other kid, what's his name? Levitt. He looks pretty good. Carson Beck is trying to have a renaissance over in Miami. And then you got that other kid, what's his name? The big kid. He's a real big kid, 6'5". Spanish kid. Fernando Mendoza. Not just a name, but he looks good too at 6'5". He's a little slow, but he is methodical and knows how to dissect a defense. Dart will be allowed at least for 3 years. He has to be because he's on his rookie deal. Let's see here. Gavin says, I'm not sure what the issue is. You want it both ways. Draft a quarterback I didn't want to draft a quarterback this year. I don't want it both ways. Gavin, I came out and said it. I would not have taken Jaxson Dart. I would not have taken Abdul Carter. I would have traded back, got extra assets, stockpiled some picks, picked up the likes of Ty Warren, get an actual tight end that can cause separation in the middle of the field, pull the over-the-top safety, and give one-on-one coverage to this guy on the corner that you drafted last year who wears number 1, and throw the rainbow with Russell Wilson, which in turn would also open up lanes for Tyrone Tracy. And I could have had 1 year wonder with Russ Wilson and took a guy next year, which is a better, deeper quarterback class, and still potentially won games. So, no, I don't want it both ways. I've said it a million times which way I want it. Ty Warren, even with Daniel Jones, even though Daniel Jones overthrew him by a country mile, which is shocking because it's Daniel Jones, looks really good. Looks better than a young Travis Kelce. But of course, like I said, we don't know yet. But it's easier to judge a tight end or a wide receiver at times than it is to gauge what a quarterback's going to be. Johnny Rico says, I'm wondering if we should draft an left tackle in the first round next year. I love Thomas, but Thomas is 26 years old. His big contract is starting to kick in. You can't get rid of Thomas. You can't get rid of Thomas right now at 26 years old, but grabbing a left tackle in the first round next year, it's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea at all. Speedbag says, I can't watch this anymore. I gave it a shot. This is just bad. Hey, Speedbag, fuck off. How about that? We don't want you to watch because you're a fucking idiot and a moron. So go to Chode Sports, a little more your speed, because everything's got to be sunshine and lollipops and rainbows and happy things because you're a moron. And that just makes it simple. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Jersey Beaner says, Tim, are you still a Giant season ticket holder? Yes. Nobody bought the PSL. This is how you know it's bad. Nobody bought my PSL. Nobody bought my PSL. Nobody bought the PSL. That's when you know shit is bad. Couldn't give it away. Timmy, what's up off Broadway? 24 tackles for a loss last year at Penn State. Guy isn't small. Really, the guy. Okay, Gavin, watch this. Okay, I'm gonna show you something, Gavin, that you're probably not familiar with by watching other content creators. In college football, there is a little known statistic and there's a little known fact in college football. Sacks are counted as tackles for losses. So 24 tackles for losses are technically would be 12. They are counted as tackles for losses. Sacks are. NFL, they're not counted that way. I'm going to give you another little fun stat. 25.9. That is his missed tackle percentage, Abdul Carter, when he was a full-time starter at the off-the-ball linebacker position in 2023, where he only had 48 combined tackles, 25 solo, 23 assists. His first two seasons, he had 80-something tackles. Mr. Parsons, who was not even a full-time starter his freshman year at Penn State, had 81 tackles and led the team in tackles as a freshman, as a guy that never started one game. Abdul Carter, if he was not moved over to the defensive end position at Penn State due to the fact they lost one player in the draft in the first round, another one in the third round, and he would have stayed off the ball linebacker, he probably would have been taken anywhere between the third and the fifth round. He is an undersized defensive lineman. Black Rifle is veteran owned and all the employees are veterans. Great company. It's a great company. I love Black Rifle. Yeah. Hey, here we go. Black Rifle. Hold on. Black Rifle. Black Rifle. We got everything Black Rifle here. RF says, I thought there was a $4 million cap save. No. He's got his contract. His contract was beautiful. He's a brilliant contract. Ready for some wild giant hopium. Daniel Day-Lewis coming back to acting after 8 years is more likely to get an Oscar than 5 to 6 times he gets nominated. Giants made. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Dan, that was interesting. Mr. Taz says, absolutely hyped for tomorrow. 2 alongside BC, Fletcher, Foles, Brian Dawkins, the party before the game to celebrate the start of the new season. You should be. OP4 Rangers 22 says, can you explain the thought process on how 9 wins can clinch the division? You don't think Philly can come up with at least not? No, because you have to remember this, and it's not a slight against Philadelphia. Everyone in the division plays the same schedule, same tough schedule. And what makes it even worse, everyone plays each other within the division. So a lot of these games are going to kind of cancel this out. And I think you're going to see a lot of the NFC East teams split. You feel if you go by historical NFL logic, the year after the Super Bowl, the team that wins the Super Bowl normally takes a step back. I'm thinking also Washington, who I do think improved themselves over the last year and a half, is going to take a step back as well. I think Dallas is not going to be as bad as many people think. And if you have two teams that are going to take a step back in the division and you think the Giants can win some games. So for the Giants to win 9 games, you have to remember this. They're going to take divisional games, which then evils out and equals out the win-loss totals, which then in turn, per math, turns around and then does what? It lowers the win total not only over your overall record, but also during the division. Boom! Fucking math. What's up, Mr. Rogers? Starship Troopers is the reason I enlisted. As crazy as it sounds, Citizens, the Citizens line got me. Starship Troopers, man. Great movie. Starship Troopers, great movie. Casper Van Dien. What has he done since? Michael Ironside, nothing. Doogie freaking Howser. Come on. You got Doogie in that movie. I mean, come on. I just love it when they took out. Like I said, my favorite thing is when they took out Buenos Aires and the one girl's looking at the screen going, damn, Bugs whacked us good, Johnny. How does that not win an Oscar? That's almost as good as Bruce Leroy or Show Enough. How does that not win? How does that not win an Oscar? How does Show Enough not win an Oscar? How do you not win for best music? When you reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one.
Am I the meanest?
Show enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Show enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Show enough.
Hey, Dable got DJ $40 million a year for an average season. You're not wrong. Damn, I'm late. What's good, Tim? OG Knockout. Everything's good because you're here. I feel like this team is better than last year's teams, but we need to go at least 3-3 in the first 6. I feel bad for the Colts fans. I keep saying it, Zach. 3-3, and everyone thinks I'm so negative. I'm telling you how the Giants have a roadmap into making the playoffs in this division. You go 3-3 in the first 6, which normally means you could potentially have 2 divisional wins, which then lowers the win total. Oh, watch this, Gavin. Lowers the win total of everyone else in the division when you split games. Okay, I think I got my fill. Missing Jaxson Dart is an insane take, even with the context you put with a limited quarterback. His game plans were rudimentary and were widely bashed. No, actually, they weren't. Gavin, I'm sorry.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of stupid. I'm not dealing with stupid this season. I think old Tim is doing one of these. He's lifting up the crypt. What's all this dust? Old Tim is needed. Old Tim is needed. And I don't care what it does to the numbers. I don't care what it does to anything. Because every time I get more and more upset and yell, I get more popular. We are now the 194th in the world rated our most downloaded football podcast. How crazy is that? And we fell 25 spots. That's what makes it even more insane. We are the 190 on just what is it called? On just Apple Podcasts. We are ranked 194th most downloaded football podcast in the world. Now what's really crazy, which I did not know this, and my social media guy told me this. Football in the world is also soccer. So it's like your analytics are also competing against soccer. That's crazy. iPads are expensive. Oh, Wyatt, man, I love you. sometimes Wyatt Ironstrong comes up with ones that are like, iPads are expensive. You're right. You shouldn't be throwing. Sorry, you shouldn't be throwing iPads. Hit the like button, people. Why not? You're right, iPads. I am so sorry. You're right. iPads are expensive. Let's see here. Does Joe throw Dable under the bus if we start 1-7? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Dable's doing, Joe Shane is doing one of these. You know, you're sitting on the corner, you know, hey, Joe, you know, everything looks, 1-7. You know, we're starting to look good. Yeah, Brian, you're awesome. There you go. The Brother Authentics thinks Jaxson Dart can start now. I strongly disagree. Yeah. I like Mr. Authentic, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything bad, but that's just crazy. Big Blue, what's up, my brother? Tim, good evening. Tank for Marshall Manning. Marchie is a bust. All jokes aside, I hope Dart works out and it's another 6 years of quarterback. I hope Jaxson, this is what people don't get. I hope Jaxson Dart works out. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's get up to 50 likes. I hope Jaxson Dart works out. I hope Jaxson Dart has this prolific NFL career. I don't know why people think I'm against Jaxson Dart. I'm not against Jaxson Dart. I hope this guy has this prolific NFL career where everything is just wonderful. I'm watching a bunch of kids run across my lawn. I'm gonna be that man. I'm gonna be that old man. Tell these kids to get off my lawn. But I hope he has this wonderful career. But I'm just telling you this. As a Giant fan, my goal in the 2025 season in week 1 through 6 is not to develop Jaxson Dart. It's to win games. I so want to go outside.
Get off my lawn.
It's not to develop a quarterback. It's to win games. The goal of any NFL team should be to win games. That's our goal. And if that's not your goal as an ownership, then then you shouldn't. Then go on a soccer team. I hear they make money. Dom's channel, Arsenal Domination. I was laughing. I was on one of his live streams today. Did a live stream of the channel talking about the Arsenal. I was so bored at one point in time on Sunday that I was watching Arsenal soccer or Arsenal football. And I went on the channel and I expanded my I threw out my Arsenal knowledge. I think I was quite impressive. I'm not going to lie to you. How much is the PSL? Way too much. I'm not going to get into finances, but way too much. Let's put it this way. You could be driving a Hyundai. Mr. Authentic was a huge Daniel Jones supporter. I stopped watching him years ago. Yeah, he was a big, in all fairness, I'm not defending Mr. Authentic. In all fairness, though, what Giant content creator besides this channel was not a huge DJ supporter? We had to hear for years how terrible and how stupid we were. But when you visualize something and you see something and you see it repeated, it's like this is the Jaxson Dart scenario right now that's kind of bothering me. Everyone wants him to be the darling. NFL does because of the fact that would make New York relevant. The media does because it gives them something to talk about. The fans do because they want, that's going to be a win. And sometimes when you do that, you don't actually look at everything. You see, they always say it's the you got on the beer goggles, you got on the rose colored glasses. You don't see the flaws because you see the 370 yards, this and that, but you don't see who it was against. You don't see what defenses he played. You don't see the fact that he didn't really play against any first teamers or basically a lot of times any second teamers. He didn't get any first team reps in camp, but somehow with the rose colored beer goggles on, you think he could be the CB2. Not looking at the fact that this is a Lane Kiffin product. The best quarterback Lane Kiffin has had in the pros is Matt Barkley, which isn't saying anything. Every quarterback he develops is a one-read, half-the-field quarterback that throws to a spot, kind of what Pat Shurmur did with Daniel Jones. But we don't want to look at that. We want to look at the fact that he is going to be the CB2. He is going to be the savior of New York. He's going to be our Joe Namath. There's not many Joe Namaths out there in this world. There's not many Eli Mannings out there in this world. That's why certain teams have gone through a quarterback franchise purgatory for 30, 40 years and never found one. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things that you have to hope. And most content creators were kneeling at the altar of Daniel Jones for years, but we kept telling you everything that we saw that was totally wrong. Everyone told us that we weren't right, and then at the end of the day, they all of a sudden came back and had this epiphany after we got rid of Daniel Jones that he was terrible. So this is the thing I keep saying. Everyone's saying trust Brian Dable, trust Joe Shane. These are the guys that re-signed Daniel Jones to $40 million a year. These are the guys that said they could make him an NFL quarterback and then got rid of him in the middle of a season. Authentic is a punk. I don't know if he's a punk. I never met him. I can't tell you that. I would tell you if he wasn't. Let's see here. How do the PSLs work, Tim? All right, quick PSL. Personal seat license. You buy a season ticket. You have to pay the season. You have to pay the price for the season ticket. You have to pay for the seats each year. But the personal seat license is a payment that you have to make in the beginning so you can have the wonderful ability to keep potentially paying. So it's almost like you have to pay. So if you have 2 seats, you have to pay for those 2 seats in reference to a personal seat license agreement, which means that holds those seats for you. They're in your name. And then what happens is you then have to pay for the tickets yearly. So you have a one-time fee, and then you have to pay yearly for the seats. There's not every NFL team does it. Dallas does it. I think Philadelphia does it now. It's just a way for them to make more money and rip off the fans. And now I love it because the Giants can't fucking sell out. The Giants 2 years ago, for the first time in franchise history, sold individual game tickets. They have never done that before in their entire 100-year history. They're doing it again this year, and on some ticket sites, the Giants are waiving the ticket fee. That's how bad this is right now for the Giants. What is your tip for Sunday? I think it's a close loss. I think if the defense plays up to expectation and Jaden Daniels does not have one of those moments, one of those games, I think the Giants, like I said, I think the Giants can, I think it's a field goal game. And I'm not going to tell you which way yet, because then people won't tune in for Sunday. But I think it would be a field goal game. OG says, it's funny how all the content creators wanted Daniel Jones get paid after mediocre season. Now I have amnesia about what they said. I think Jaxson Dart will be good, but shouldn't start yet. Yeah. I saw Giants Revival, New York Revival had Cop Vizzle on last night, laughing. Cop Vizzle's an idiot. They have him on because he's going to bring in ratings, because he's getting ratings. He's going to bring in likes, the clicks, and bleeps and boops because he says stupid things. I can say stupid things on my own. I don't need someone else coming on to say stupid things. Damn. In 14 years, we won our opener twice and went to the playoffs both times. Yeah. Tim says, yeah, you're just hating on Philly, Tim. It's okay to say it. No, I believe Philly's going to take a step back. I love Philadelphia. I love the cheesesteaks. I still love Geno's. I still can't figure out how you cannot get a good fucking cheesesteak in the Link. But I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I literally went on Bad Dog's show and he told me that Daniel Jones was a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, and I told him he was fucking nuts. I literally told him Jalen Hurts will win a Super Bowl before Daniel Jones, because Jalen Hurts is like this kid brother. That's what I love about this guy. The team loves him. And he's like their kid brother. You watch the offensive linemen pick this guy up like he's a rag doll because they protect him. Trenton, come back when they win 9. Come back. Is there anything to look forward for the Giants this year? Sure. You want to see if Jaxson Dart matures. You want to see if Abdul Carter is worth the hype. You want to see if you can expand on what Tyrone Tracy has done. You want to see Malik Nabers. There's a lot of things to be excited about this season for the Giants. But to sit there and think that the New York Giants are going to, are going to be this team that is going to be this team and they're going to win these games like they did last year, or like 2 or 3 years ago. No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to break something down to you. And this is what I told people. Everyone's like, well, the Giants have so much depth now. Okay. So behind Ellie Moore Fudd is Bo. Behind Wan'Dale Robinson is Gunner. Behind Slayton is Jalen Hyatt. You really have nobody behind JMS. You got Aaron Stinney behind Runyon. James Hudson you have behind Thomas. Then you have Singletary behind Tracy. You have Bo Collins behind Nabers. Bellinger behind Theo Johnson, who no one's ever seen. You have Chauncey Golden behind Kayvon Thibodeau. You have DJ Davidson behind Dexter Lawrence. You're starting the Nacho Man, but behind Nacho is Roy Robert Harris and Darius Alexander, who's now third string. Behind Brian Burns, you have Abdul Carter. You have old Darius and Demetrius Flanagan Flowers behind Bobby Okereke. Chris Board is backing up McFadden. Drew Phillips is being backed up by Nick Jones. Art Green, the venerable Art Green, is backing up Paulson Adebo. Tyler Newman's being backed up by Dane Belton. Holland is being backed up by Bo Brady. And Cordell Flott, Deontay Banks is being backed up by Art Green. You suffer one injury, you are in so much trouble. I prefer Google Maps. Oh, all right. I know. Okay. What's up, Big Greg? Greg, we were just talking about you, Mr. Sellers. Sup, fellow cult followers? Let's see here. Oh, Dallas will be bad. I think they end up with the 4th pick. I don't know if Dallas is going to be bad. I don't know yet.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
Random a draft, baby. Yeah. Go Big Blue. There you go, Charlie. Once again.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if everyone's going to split beside the Giants. Why do I keep getting... Why keeps texting me? I don't want to go on someone else's show. Just so now we are what is this now? We're officially what? We're officially something. Hold on. I love how they're officially something. I'm not doing it. Can't make me. Knock, knock. Who's there? You can't make me. Can't make me do it. Can't make me do what I don't want to do. Let's see here. The math is okay. You know what? I'm going to tell everyone this. Wait, why? I'm going to tell everyone this. And I tell everyone like this all the time. I am like Novocaine. You may hate me at first. You may hate the shot in your mouth. It may make you sick and may make you nauseous, but you just wait because over time it works. And then no one ever comes back and apologizes. So, Dallas's defense is going to suffer from the loss of Parsons. And if they figure out their running back situation, Dallas has an offense. We need to remember that. They have 2 good wide receivers, Dak Prescott, and a pretty good tight end. I'm just throwing that out there. I wonder if they use Dart packages to throw teams off. Maybe delusional. I don't know. Brown, I'm going to tell you this. This, and it's been a proven fact. And I'm not just saying this, but it's been a proven fact. Teams that try to use package quarterback things, all you're doing is you're breaking up the continuity of the offense. And the majority of times they don't work. You got to go back to what was the quarterback in Miami that used to run the Wildcat? What was it? Stan White was the quarterback they used to. Yeah, it was Stan White. Used to come. Was it Stan White? I don't remember if it was Stan White. I can't remember. They had a quarterback in Miami that they used to run the option with, and that worked. But then the league figured out the Wildcat, and his career ended right there. If we don't beat Dallas, what do we say? I prefer Google Maps. LeVar says, Tim, let's talk. I'm confident in the Giants be successful at starting fast this season, beginning 2-0 and leading the division by week 5. Hope you're right. I hope you're right. Let's see here. We are live, such a soft and fluffy society. We are such a soft and fluffy society. It really is. It really, you know, it really. I'm not going to get on. That's Get Off My Lawn, the Matt Ramleys of Gen Xer, the number 3 most popular downloaded Gen X podcast in the land. You want to laugh? You guys will appreciate this. And Get Off My Lawn, my other podcast, has been nominated for the podcast of the year. Now you may ask yourself, but under what category, Tim? Like, you know, best comedy, best informational podcast? No. We have been nominated as one of the top Black podcasts on YouTube. Excuse me, on iTunes. Well, I hope I win, because some people are going to be in for a little shock. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Let's see. But golden hair, blue eyes, Tim. People always tell you you're wrong and negative. How can you rank so high in the podcasts? Because first of all, we're entertaining. I tried to watch some other shows and I'm like, I can't. We're entertaining. B, we tell you the truth. And, you know, a lot of the people that watch us aren't even Giant fans, which I think is hilarious. which cracks me up completely. I'm throwing him under myself. If we're 1-6 crazy, Joe put together a good enough roster, in my opinion, to really compete. I hope they do, LeVar. I hope they do. Are we still hating on everything? No, we're not hating on everything. We're just being honest. That's the problem. Who just told me it was LeVar just a second ago. It just says we live in a weak mamby-pamby society. You tell the truth, you're a hater. That's the problem with this society. You tell the truth, you're a hater. Outside the run game, which is going to be determined this year. We're cool. What about the starting offensive line? What about your tight ends? And what about your wide receiver outside of Nabers? Tim, when you tell them to get off your lawn, can you please leave your double barrel shotgun inside this time? First of all, in the movie, it was an N1 Garand rifle. So, and I don't have a double barrel shotgun. That's one thing I do not have. I do have a semi-automatic shotgun with a 30-round banana clip. Iron Man says, I want to see some visible improvement on both sides. And then I agree. Honesty ain't hate. Thank you. That's it. Honesty ain't hate. Fans want smoke. That's the thing. I don't disagree that all fans want smoke blown up their ass. Well, there's plenty of other channels that are going to do that for you. There's plenty of more popular channels that are going to do that for you. Oh, it's the wife calling. I'm going to have to end in a minute. That's the wife calling. There's plenty of other popular channels that are going to do that. So go watch them. It's okay. I love it. Someone in the YouTube sphere, I love it, told me, someone on the YouTube sphere told me that you shouldn't yell at people and tell them to go watch other channels. So I told them to fuck off and go watch another channel. Hey-oh. Let's see here. PSL is price gouging. I agree. Shermer ran a limited offense. Quarterback Dan Jones, check down quarterback always. Shermer cut the field in half and one read up. Thank you. We said that the entire year. What's up, Big Lane? I want to make sure I get to everyone real quick, so I do have to answer this phone call. Go back and rewatch the highlights. If you don't watch the whole game, you'll see flashes of him being what he's supposed to be, attacking the middle of the field, hitting the seam, and stretching the field. Ooh, Jaxson Dart. I also seen him play against corners that are not much better than I am. All right, the wife will be home at 6. Let's see here. It's the NFLs. Everyone has flashes. Good players make great plays consistently. Only flashes. Jay Fed says Thomas injury could be worse than VR Tucker. Yeah, I saw Tucker is out. I'm gonna have to wait and see. You give him a Pro Bowl left tackle, graded left tackle, as well as a future Hall of Fame running back. You also have a horrible and inconsistent head coach, Pat White. Thank you, Pat White. Pat White, not the inventor, was when they ran the Wildcat with Pat White. Thank you. Oh my God. That was actually German. You got my vote, Tim. Yes, just remember, go and vote. Get off my lawn and vote them for the #1 Black podcast in 2025. I read the email to James, and the whole this is what I've said all along. I'm going to have James go and accept the award for me. So, Tim is an albino black guy. I think that's hilarious, though. Tim, have you ever watched Giants Collectible with Bad Dog and Them? No, I don't know what that is. Giants Collectibles. Giants. No, I don't know what that is. I know what Bad Dog is. Is Bad Dog like? Is that the show that he does with the Washington guys and the Philly guys and the Cowboy guy? The truth, according to Timmer. The truth shall set you free. The albino black guy, that's me. Get your ass back in the kitchen, Tim, pretty much. I am actually an excellent cook. I prefer, I guess you would have to say, chef. When I retired 14 years ago, I took up like cooking, not baking. I don't know how to bake because baking is a science. My wife knows how to bake. She makes bread, she makes cookies, she makes all these wonderful things. I can't bake to save my life because it's a science. You have to put the right amount of things in because the yeast and this. Cooking is just taste and flavor. So you don't have to be exact with your measurements. I love when I'm sitting there with the, with the Redmonds or the adobo, the sazon or sofrito or whatever it is. I'm just going like this and I go, then you taste it. That's all that is. Let's see here. I like it when people say I'm handsome, even though I know it's a lie. Giants Collectibles. Is it Giants Collectibles? I don't know what that is. I like yummy food. So do I. I'm actually very good at cooking Hispanic food. My roca gandules. Oh, fabulous. My empanadas. Fabulous. My mofongo. Out the door. I like yummy food too. Tim, I'm going to be honest. You're on the Giants Collective would be fire. I don't know what that is, guys. What is is it Giant? Is it Giants Collectibles or Giants Collectives? I don't know what that is. But I would be good at it, evidently. But thank you, LeVar. I have no clue what that is, but I appreciate you. I always appreciate you, my brother. Let's see here. All right, we're at 46 likes. Close enough to 50. I got to call the wife back. I can cook most things, but damn if I can't bake a damn thing other than savory biscuits. Well, biscuits with the yeast and my wife has my wife makes biscuits, English muffins. She makes my son's bread for school every week, and like cookies and stuff like that. But yeah, you have to have a, like I said, baking is like a science because you have to put the right amount of ingredients for everything to work. Cooking is like a symphony. Even when you're a little off, it can be phenomenal. Fans who only know the Giants and Eli Manning arguing football based on hope and highlights makes me shake my head. I agree with that. You're not missing nothing, Tim. Giants Collectibles is butt. Is it really called Giants Collectibles? Is that really, Gino, is that really a show? I really got to go, but now I want to know this. Anthony from Fireside Giants is on the show with Bad Dog is delusional as hell. Bad Dog is cool. Anthony is the tennis player. I know that. I love to cook on stainless steel pots and pans only. Yeah, there's this new pot called the Green Pan. They're a little expensive, and it's not one of these non-stick pots. And I forget, it's like a diamond coated thing. I like that. I'm trying to get one of those. I've tried. The only thing thinking about the round table is but trust me, aside from the BS, you don't have to worry about it. These guys and I think they would love your perspective. I got no fucking clue what we're talking about, guys. It's a podcast Bad Dog does with Giant Podcasts. Okay, and it's called Giants Collective. All right, hold on. Let me look this up. Giants Collective. All right, well, nothing really comes up. A roundtable show that provides an authentic, entertaining look at the New York Giants. Yeah, I guarantee it's not entertaining. Let's see here. I love one of their videos is the Giants chip block moment is a good sign. How is that? He got flattened by a 4th-string tight end. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, so you have the bad dog, you have the entertainer, you have a guy with a cheesy mustache, and a girl, a woman. And a woman there. Let's see who's on this show. Hold on, I'm gonna look here. Hold on, I'm looking now. Now you're making me look. Okay, hang on. Oh my God. Oh dear Lord, I can't watch that. Who the hell told me to watch that? I can't watch that. Well, I watched it for the first 15 seconds. Had to turn it off. First of all, you got the guy on there. It's a tennis player. You got the entertainer. Well, I don't even know what's still around. I like Bad Dog. And then you got the girl who's actually on Believe. Oh, shit. I forgot. FanDuel. We'll do a FanDuel commercial next time. And who's also on Believe, who I tried listening to her podcast. She doesn't know a lot about the Giants or sports. Should be a good show. Should be a good show. Oh, it's a cheesy YouTube show. Thank you, Gina. Bad Dog is a true passion fan. Hopefully it makes some sense. It makes sense looking into it'll be really good. Bad Dog is jacked. Bad Dog, the guy who keeps apologizing to Daniel Jones over and over, sounds like a genius to me. Is he apologizing for Daniel Jones? I don't know. If you want to cringe, laugh a bit. It's okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Because I'm an asshole. Because I'm an asshole, and I got a couple seconds, and I really do have to go because I really got to figure out what I'm going to do from dinner, and I have to find the kids. They left the house, and I could track them on their phones. That's fine. Okay, hold on here. I gotta go. Hold on. I gotta see this. I gotta listen for a second. Hold on. Let's see what the brilliance is here of this. I loved it. I literally just jumped through a bunch of things, and the girl never talks. She doesn't talk. She's on Believe, and I tried listening to her show once. I really did. I'm not trying to make fun of her, but I tried, and it was so painful to listen to, and it's like I'm not even going to get into it. One day I'll get into it, but I'm not going to get into it. But oh my God. Bad Dog is clueless, and Hope stopped watching him years ago. Another huge Jones supporter. It's true. The only other channel whose opinion I take seriously are Authentic and The Beard. I like Authentic. I don't have a problem with Mr. Authentic. He says some shit that's crazy, but don't we all say shit that's crazy? And he actually gave me credit a bunch of times for being the first one to call out Daniel Jones. So I have to give props. And he was one of the first people that said I did that. And I actually have to give him credit because most people just ignored the fact that I bitched and yelled and complained for 5 years about Daniel Jones, and no one ever said anything about it. He was. Entertainer think he knows everything. Tim, who do I make my bets through? FanDuel.com. The Giants are 6.5 point dogs. Take the 6.5 points and run. PB says Daniel Jones, Authentic was a huge Daniel Jones supporter. It's okay. I'm betting $1 million that I will never be an NFL quarterback. Everyone go play the Powerball. This is the only show I can watch. The rest of them suck. Well, we're just gonna leave it at that because you know what, Mr. Protects, who I love, is just wrapped it up. All right, guys, we're gonna head out of here. I gotta go do some things and look for the children because the children are our future. Oh, hold on, they might be home. Are they home? Let me see here. That's what I love about this Life 365 and all these other apps, man. You can just track your kids in AirTags and AirPods and oh, he's in the house. All right, see, they're in the house. All right, we're good with that. They're in the house. Yet to see a creator take the Commanders. They all think Abdul spying Daniel Jones is going to be a huge difference maker. I'm not taking the Commanders. I mean, I'm probably taking the Commanders. I'm sorry. Abdul, and like I said, if I'm the Washington Commanders, I see Abdul Carter on the field on a non-passing down, I am checking out of the play, making it a run play, and running right at him. Until he can prove that he can stop the run, I'm running right at him every single time. That's what I'm doing. It is the Redskins. It will always be the Redskins. Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you. Hey, let's see how many subscribers we lost. Let's see how many subscribers we lost today. People try to get subscribers. I try to lose them. It's more fun. We didn't lose any today. Better. We'll have to try harder tomorrow. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, man. It's late. I'm hungry. I don't know what. The kids are home. I got stuff to do. No content until Sunday. Then we will have a recap of the game on Sunday. We're not really doing daily videos anymore, to be honest. Get off my lawn. It's starting to take up a lot of my time, so we're going to do that. But Sunday's always a fun show. Well, we're going to do some big giveaways on Sunday because the kickoff is at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have some guests on. We're working on a call-in line, and I'm just waiting for the SIM card. Hopefully it'll be here for Sunday. So what we're going to do, and just the last thing, and make sure you hit the like button. I want to get to 50, but that's all right. This is what I'm going to say. This is what we're going to do. If the SIM card comes in, we hooked up the soundboard. We have a Bluetooth thing hookup. So I got another cell phone. I have like 9 cell phones now because when you run multiple businesses, you need to have multiple lines, but I don't know why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm hooking up to the soundboard, and I have a number that you're going to be able to call in, because a lot of people were saying they don't want to go to StreamYard and they want to come on the show, but they don't want to go to StreamYard and do it. So you guys will be able to call in directly through a number, and then you'll be able, I'll pump you through the soundboard, and then anyone that wants to come on can talk. Seems like a good plan. What could possibly go wrong with that? Kareem, we're leaving. We're leaving, my friend. We're leaving on a jet plane. All right, guys, I got to go. Wife's going to be home in 30. I got to figure out what we're doing for dinner. Everyone stay tuned for Sunday. Don't forget FanDuel, FanDuel.com, #1 sportsbook in the country. And you know what, guys? Great plan, Tim. Yeah. OG, what could possibly go wrong with the people that I hang out with? There's going to have to be a 7-second delay. And as always, we'll see everyone on Sunday, guys. Appreciate you. Love you all. And we're out of here.